I'm set, dude.
Hello and
What's
welcome.
up?
We were gonna do a podcast today, but two of the hosts are missing, so we're just gonna kind of wing it and see what happens.
It's a 50% podcast
Fifty
right now,
percent, 50% the entertainment. 50
but 100% effort. We're giving 100%
100%.
right now.
Cameron's back. I guess he's gonna be a host now on our podcast. He's another
Doing
guest
so.
that turned into a host. So exciting. He also
I'm
made an
very
intro
excited.
song. He also made an intro song for the podcast, but I'm not gonna play it yet. I'm still working out the logistics of that.
But it will be cool when it comes out.
Stay tuned. Yeah, we had I don't know. I just had problems with my internet being down for the past week, so that's why we haven't been posting.
I was wondering, I'm all, dang, like, internet must suck.
No, it's just
Something.
because we didn't pay the bill.
Oh, I feel against the man.
The struggles.
Struggle is real.
So, I got a message on Facebook. Who's it from? Oh shit! Is it Sai?
Sai, where you at?
Um, he said, "Do we have a guest?" Yeah, we do. We're our own guests. We don't have to have a guest every time, do we?
No, you don't have to. You can always talk about, what's going on in the musical world or gear world.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so I have a question. Okay, this was pertaining to this is pertaining to last time you were on the last podcast we had.
Okay.
You were talking about like your approach to writing music, and when you're writing like guitar parts, you had the drums in your head thinking about the drums, and so you write them together. Like I find myself not doing that. Like I'll write one part and then the other part. So like, what do you think is like the? What do you think about that? Like different ways of approaching writing music.
I think everyone really has like their own way. I don't necessarily think that there's like a right way or a wrong way. I mean, people kind of just figure it out over time what their form of writing music is. And I mean, for me, it's just always been I imagine all the parts when I write a song. Like I can tell like when like the song is coming together. Like okay, this is how it's going to sound. This is how the drums is going to go. This is how the bass is going to go. And I mean, when we go into practice and lay down the song, it'll change for sure, but the basis of idea will have already been written.
Yeah, because when you said that, like I thought it was a good idea. I kind of want to try it. Just have everything going on in my head as I'm doing it. But like what I usually do is I'll just write the drums. Like I'll just come up with the beat first, and then just like layer on top of that, and just keep going different layers. Like I'll do the bass second or something.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what's cool about like technology now is you can program a drummer to play a beat, and then you could have it do fills whenever you want, and you could totally do the whole drum part first before you even touch the guitar, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's easy to like prototype what your ideas are.
Exactly. That's what I do with a lot of our songs. I'll write the whole thing just like scratch, not real produce like guitar and drum stuff, but just basic idea of the song down and send it to the guys and then just see what they think and then go back and change some stuff and then everyone gets a good chance to listen to it when we just go into practice and then hash it out.
So, do you think that technology we have is in any way detrimental to like the music industry? Like, is it too easy to just like throw something together?
I mean, it can be, but I mean, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because it's like if you're for instance, like I'm at school right now, I don't have a drummer to sit there and like be right here with me, and I don't have like a drum set on me. So I mean, like the portability factor of just being able to program something up real quick and then just have it right then and there for you to start working on stuff. I mean, it definitely allows people who are in situations where they don't have like other people to be with them to write. It gives them the opportunity to get their ideas out without having like be with someone.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, so there's bands like you were talking about gent earlier.
Yeah, gents.
So there's bands that like are literally like all the guitars are sampled, just like the drums, and it's everything's just sampled and like packed together. You know, like what do you think of that? That's like what I'm thinking about when think it's like the technology's detrimental, and it's just like
I don't know. I mean, I'm not too familiar with like bands like sampling guitars.
oh my god, I can show you some bands. Oh my god.
I'd love to hear some. You know, if you want to play me. But I mean,
Okay.
I have no idea. I have not been aware of this sampling of guitar.
Oh,
I mean, I've heard of
God.
like DJs sampling like guitar, you know,
Well,
like in like songs.
sampled drums. You know, it's like it's someone played the drums, but you take the individual clips of the drum sounds and put it together.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like a drummer playing. But like there's a lot of bands that do it now. And like, have you ever heard of it's a lot in deathcore and a lot in like I guess progressive, like that gent whatever stuff you call it.
I mean, I haven't heard too much, but I know that.
Have you heard of let's see. I'm trying to think of a band. Like I'll play you a couple. There's a few. Like Within the Ruins is a band I can think of that does that. I'll see if I can play it. Hopefully I don't get like sued or something. I don't
Nah, you should be fine. I mean, as long as you don't play like you just play like 15 seconds to like 30 seconds of it, you should be solid.
Okay, here's the song. This is Within the Ruins, Objective Reality. Let me make sure. Oh, you can hear it? Oh, you can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Alright, just listen to this band.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's interesting right there.
Well, I don't know, like... Hold on. I think I had to turn off my noise gate. It was, like, fucking it up. I'm still trying to work out playing audio through the stream. It's not our voices. Still trying to work out it. I guess it's a good learning experience for both of us.
It sounded good on my end.
But it cut out.
Oh, it did? I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't
So
tell.
it was just because it thought it was noise or something.
Oh, okay.
Turn off automatic gain control. Okay. Yeah, let me get another song. Let's try that again. Here we go. This is funny. It just doesn't want to work. What's going on? What is going on with this thing, man?
What's going on?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's so bad. It's just so bad.
I might. Hey, you know, there's people that like it. You know, there's people that like it.
Like,
but
honestly, I love it.
it's to me, it's just I don't know. It's weird.
Like, I know that it's bad, but like, there's still a musician behind it that's putting this stuff together. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, there's definitely some things that are different about it.
So there's this guy. His name's Ain't Sastry. He's a drummer, and he's one of my favorite drummers, honestly. But he's in a couple like progressive metal bands. He's in a band called Monuments, and he was in a band called Intervals. But he's a really good drummer. He's really good at like progressive drumming, like odd time signatures and all that crazy shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But he doesn't play the guitar, but he has a solo album. It's called like Ain't Up Sastry, but he doesn't know how to play the guitar. So what he did is he sampled the guitars, but he's actually playing the drums. The drums are him playing the drums, but then all the other instruments are all sampled.
Okay.
So he just kind of like he expressed himself in that way.
So like by sampling guitar, is he like?
So you play one note, and then you crop it, and then you like repeat it, and then you play whatever notes. So if you have, so you basically just play every note once that you're gonna use in the entire song, and then
wow.
and then you copy and paste it wherever you need it. That's the same thing as like sampling drums would be.
That just seems so time consuming.
I know.
just it's like because from like from a guitar player who can play drums point of view, it's just like just play the guitar part and then go play the drums. I mean,
well, okay, but if you're sampling the drums, then you're connected to like a MIDI sequencer of some kind. You can do the same thing with you can do the same thing with the guitar samples. So it wouldn't be that time consuming if you did it that way.
Couldn't you technically, like, if you had like a electronic drum set, you could just map the drum sounds to that drum set?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you could do that with a guitar.
I mean, you could get the drum set, and you could make the drums make guitar noises.
That would be. I would go see that live. I would pay money to see that live. I wonder how blast beats sound as guitar parts.
I've seen MIDI guitars. I've seen MIDI controllers that are guitars. So maybe you could do that.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I think I've seen some of them on like the internet.
Finger something. I don't even know. But you could do that and have the sample guitars, make it like just like an 8-string, like super heavy, like.
You could go
just
all out with it.
Yeah, just breakdown. Okay, what do you think about like? Do you think breakdowns are overused?
I think so. I mean,
okay.
I think the same. It's like the same style. I mean, I don't think a breakdown is. I don't think breakdowns are overused. I think the same kind of breakdowns are overused.
Okay, so like I like metalcore, and deathcore is supposed to be a mixture of metalcore. No, deathcore is supposed to be a mixture of hardcore and death metal. That's what deathcore is supposed to be. But deathcore really is just all breakdowns. That's all it is. It's just it's not really. It doesn't really sound to me like what the name is. It's just turned into just play as many breakdowns as you can, and as slowly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a thing with like genres. Like, I feel like now there's so many genres that aren't necessarily what they're calling themselves. Like bands are labeling themselves genres that aren't what they're not.
That's true.
You know?
There's a lot of weird ones, like math rock. It's really just progressive rock, but they want to be different, so they call themselves math rock.
Or like I've heard people call math rock people who can't play jazz very well. Is basically math rock.
That's a good description of it. Yeah.
I mean,
well, I think I can see like that, but it's I think what it's supposed to be is layering a lot of different time signatures into the same song.
Yeah.
Because when you have polyrhythm, you have two different rhythms at the same time, or more than two. It's really interesting.
No, yeah, I love when like a band can do something like that. 'Cause just from me, I have just no clue of how to get that to do multiple rhythms at one time. Like Tool, especially, like I forget the drummer's name, but his drum parts are just insane.
I've experimented with it a little bit. It's interesting because it's almost like a math problem. I guess that's why it's called math. I guess that's why it's called math or whatever it's called, progressive, fucking whatever.
I've studied time signature stuff in school, and when we've gone over like 6/9 or like a 4/3 time, and just it becomes basically like a mathematical equation because you're basically like you're structuring everything so like mathematically like perfectly. That's why like that's always I thought of it, like why math rock is why it's called math rock is because like you got to be kind of smart with it because you're putting things in order in the right way and like making things work.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then polymeter. Is it polymeter is when you like go from one time signature to the next one?
Yeah, I think. Not too
There's
sure.
a lot of terms I kind of know, but it's like I don't know. I don't know a lot about music theory. I know a little bit.
I to be honest, I just did not. I do not like music theory.
Okay, it's good as a tool.
It is.
It's if you're like stuck, then it can help you to get out of where you're stuck.
100%. I think just doing it so much in school, I've just gotten so tired of it because when I'm majoring in like audio engineering, I'm just kind of like, okay, I get it. Like we're in G sharp, but
like,
can we
what
actually?
Helps for me is like I usually look things up when I need help, but it's like if I'm playing like the guitar or something and I have like these chords that sound good, I have like 3 chords or I have 2 chords, and it's like, oh, these chords are awesome. Like where's the next chord? I don't fucking know. I can't figure it out, and I look it up like, oh, this chord would sound good, and it does.
Yeah, I was amazed when I first took my first theory class about the whole like the 1-4-5 and like pop songs and stuff like that, like how everything's the same. I was totally blown away by all that.
You know what's interesting is analyzing trends like that, like pop songs all use the same, like a very similar structure, or like video game music. I was looking into that too, like all the music in the original Sonic the Hedgehog game uses a 1-2-3 chord progression.
Really?
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like it's 1-2-3.
That's super interesting. I didn't even think about
one song
that.
that's like 1-2-3-4-5, and then it goes back to 1. It's so fucking weird, but it sounds good.
It's the thing is it sounds good. It's mind-boggling with that kind of stuff. Like when you don't follow like the patterns, like it can sound good.
Because it sounds like it's going up, and I guess that makes sense if Sonic goes fast,
Yeah, it's just going right up the scale.
And then what else? All right, my train of thought is gone.
I'm trying to think. Have I seen anything cool recently in the gear world? Have you ever heard of JHS pedals?
Yes.
I'm a big fan of JHS pedals. I have not owned one yet, but just I love what they do. I think they're a great company, and just this. Have you watched any of the vlogs that that guy puts out?
Yeah, I watch like all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
the one recently about buffers was really interesting.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. And then the other guy Wampler, he does a lot of videos too.
I've heard of Wampler. They have a few pedals I've heard of before. Trying to think off the top of my head that they were super popular.
Yeah, buffers.
The name
cool.
is so familiar. Yeah.
Because really, a lot of pedals have buffers built into them, or you try to design pedals with buffers built into them so that you don't have to worry about it. Because so one time I made a clone of an old fuzz pedal, like a Jimi Hendrix fuzz face. And it's an old circuit, and I looked it up, and there's no buffer in it at all, and so just the way it sounds in your signal chain, it just weakens your signal. You know what I mean?
Really?
And so, but it sounded really good when Jimi Hendrix played it, and then I took it and I modified it, and you add a buffer circuit inside the pedal, and it just makes a huge difference. That's what you get without a buffer. Is it sucks some of your tone out.
Yeah. Basically, doesn't it? If you don't have a buffer, your tone just basically from every patch cable, it just goes down and down and down.
Yeah. So
right.
It's so voltage is the strength of the signal is voltage. And basically a buffer keeps the voltage the same, because the more length, anything that's in between, you'll lose some voltage no matter what. No matter what electronics the signal's going through, you're going to lose some voltage in there. So the buffer just puts it back up to where it was.
Okay. But how many pedals do you have to have for that to really, would you really need that?
But like I said, most pedals have buffers in them.
Yeah, so it's you would... It. Yeah, exactly. Because I've probably, altogether, maybe, total, 8 or 9 pedals.
But if you don't know for sure that your pedal, if one or two of your pedals doesn't have a buffer in it, then you might benefit from having at least If you have a buffer at the beginning, you know for sure that everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. I mean, I guess it's not necessary.
What about I heard on the other JHS video they're talking about true bypass. How like a lot of pedals don't even have true bypass.
Yeah, all my pedals have true bypass, and it just means that it's basically when the switch is off, it's just passing straight through it without going through any circuitry at all.
I feel like that should just be in every pedal.
But, so they,
you know,
the other common one is buffered bypass, and that's the debate, is that when you're passing through the pedal in true bypass, you're losing some of the voltage, some of the signal. So if you have buffered bypass, it just buffers the signal, like we were talking about buffers before.
Yeah.
So it's like either way, probably sounds good either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a personal preference. Everything is personal preference.
I need to get like expand my. I don't know. I feel like my rig right now, what I'm running for shows, I feel like it's pretty good. I'm running the orange micro tear, which is like 20 watts.
So have you thought about like a buffer, like getting a buffer? Is that why you asked about it?
Yeah, I thought about it because I felt like maybe but I don't use that many pedals.
So
I
like
use maybe
so like an active buffer
uh-huh.
would be it's always on, or there's buffers with a switch to turn it off. Like which one would you want?
Probably just always on.
Okay, I'll send you one. I'll send you one with the other with the boost pedal.
All right, I'm down.
It's like super easy to build one. Like super easy.
But if you're only using 5 pedals on your pedal board, I mean, are you really gonna experience a whole lot of buffer, like or tone loss?
You could.
Depending on like how the pedals like reacting with the other pedals.
Well, I think the only way to answer that question is when you get it, like try it with and without the buffer and see if you notice anything.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the only way to.
The only thing I've noticed that I've had trouble with like my pedals is the 60 cycle hum that I get.
So what kind of power supply do you have?
I originally had I originally was doing like a power strip that had a power adapter for each pedal, but then I got to a daisy chain, and then I later found out that daisy chains are bad because
You
it's
need
basically
an isolated. There's like special power supplies for pedals that have like isolated outputs.
yeah.
So
I got one of those.
You got one of those?
Yeah, I got one off Craigslist, super cheap, and I started using it, and I could tell a difference, but I could still hear
You
like
could still hear it, kind of.
yeah, it's just a little bit, but it vastly improved from what it was before.
Do you have any like fluorescent lighting
In my
nearby,
room,
like nearby,
possibly,
or like anything like weird that's electronic, like anything like fluorescent lights can add hum.
Oh, I have in the practice space. There's like some Christmas lights that are hanging up. That's the only thing I can think of.
Do they have like a dimmer on them or something?
No, just straight plug in and they're on.
I don't think that would do anything because there's no like humming that would come from them. But yeah, any like fluorescent light might do it. Just electrical interference. I guess if you if you ran all your pedals on batteries, you know.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I've seen? You know what I've seen that's really cool? Is like a power supply, but it just runs on a battery, and you can like connect all your pedals to the one battery.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I was thinking about that, like, because you know how like they have those power banks for cell phones.
Yeah.
So what if like I made something that was just a power bank that you recharge with your cell phone charger, and you just fucking plug all your pedals into it? It's just like a battery pack.
I mean, honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea. It's the same thing what they do with like those wireless guitar packs.
Yeah, just like that, but it just powers your pedals.
Yeah.
You put like a fat ass like rechargeable battery in it.
That would be great. I mean, just less cords, the better.
And
That's always been my biggest enemy.
It would completely eliminate hum, right?
Theoretically, it would, wouldn't it? I
Yeah.
think so.
Yes. If it was a 9, yeah, it'd just be a battery.
Genius. Coming up with new ideas here, folks, right here on the Eager
Someone's
Electronics
gonna
podcast.
it's like tomorrow there's gonna be like a new product from like fucking Fender or something.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Boss just announced their new power bank.
Their new we ripped off Alex thing.
Speaking of Boss, have you seen that Wazacraft metal zone that they just came out with?
Yes. That's pretty
I
cool.
saw a video
They
on it, and
actually
I was
made it.
so stoked on it. It actually looks pretty good.
Because I've had people ask me to do mods for their metal zones before, and it's like, now they just have that.
Exactly. Well, they actually have a good metal zone.
That's insane, dude. They listen to people. They're like, after all these years,
Yeah.
I don't know. Boss is pretty cool. Boss makes good stuff.
It's funny because it's like, when I first started playing guitar, I thought like Boss was the coolest company because it was like their pedals were like all similar but different colors. I don't know why I got so drawn to that. But then when I started using their distortion, I really didn't like the DS1 when I first got it.
Mm-hmm.
Just was not a big fan. And then I saw Robert Keeley's mod on it.
Yeah.
And I really liked his mod that he did. And then the JHS guy did a mod on it too, and it sounded really good. So now I kind of want to go back and get one heck cheap, and then have one of them mod it.
Yeah, the Keeley mod. I like the Keeley mod. It's pretty cool. I thought about doing one. I don't have a metal zone though.
They're always on Craigslist. You can find them for like $20-$30
Oh,
or
yeah, that's
less.
pretty cool. I think I like MXR pedals a lot too. It's like MXR is like my favorite for some reason.
I love the MXR. They have the pedals that they do with like Eddie Van Halen, like that Phase 90 pedal that they came out with a little while ago was really cool.
And just build quality, really, I really like. It's just a solid brick. It's just they're well built, you know.
Yeah, the chassis that they're in, or whatever you call them, I love the finishes that they do.
Oh yeah.
They always come out really cool. Especially their micro series, where they with like the Sugar Drive, the Dyna stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love those just little like miniature pedals. They're really
it's
great
hard.
on the
It's hard to
platform.
like hand make one of those because they're like so tiny. All the components inside are smaller.
I would imagine it's just insane to just try and fit all that circuitry in that tiny box.
Well, you can do it, but you have to have a factory do it. You have to have a machine do it. You know.
Yeah.
I just try to avoid that, but I mean, because if you can fit a computer in your hand in your cell phone, then you can fit a guitar pedal in a small box. I don't know.
Yeah. Trying to think, what was that other pedal I saw? There's this pedal I keep seeing that comes up on Craigslist. It's called the what's it called? I think Gibson made it for a while. It was a fuzz pedal. I think it's just called the Gibson Fuzz Tone, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah, the Maestro Fuzz Tone.
Wow.
But it was made by Gibson. It's pretty cool. It has two knobs, just a volume and an attack, and it's like one of the coolest fuzzes I've heard ever.
Have you seen my fuzz pedal?
Yeah, the Weed Band.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love that.
Well, it's like it's basically two separate fuzz circuits in the same pedal, right? So it's like, and you mix between them. So like one of the fuzzes is for like the high and the mids, and then the other side is for the lows. So you can control the amount of fuzz on each one. It's interesting.
When you come up with those, do you do you practice on, I think it's called a breadboard?
Yes.
And then you you just mess around until you get something you like, and then you eventually just put it in a box and see how it sounds?
Yeah, exactly. And and sometimes it'll sound different than the breadboard when I put it in the box, so then I'll have to like go back to the breadboard and do it again and change something else. It takes like forever. It takes forever.
I imagine. I wanted to start getting into building pedals, like doing my own, like the clones and stuff that I sell on eBay, but my soldering skills are like okay, but
Once you do it a million times, and like if you You gotta make sure you don't have a shitty soldering iron either. Like honestly, like the tool you use could actually be contributing to how shitty your soldering is.
Really?
Yeah, like is your tip on your solder? Is your soldering iron? Is it like pointed or is it like a spatula? Like flat.
It's pointed.
Yeah, see those are like completely fucking useless.
Seriously,
There's ones that
dang.
are like they look like a flathead screwdriver in the end, and that's what you want because it like you think the surface area heating up what you want to heat up, you have to have more of that surface area. The point there's like no surface area.
Yeah, so because you're better off just doing it flat right on the surface,
Yeah.
heating it up and doing it like that.
Yeah, like no one uses those points. The only thing you use those point things for is if you're like doing like super fine, like the smallest thing, you know.
Yeah, where you'd have to like kind of like use. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like if you're soldering your fucking charging port on your phone or something, I don't know.
I took a electronics class at my community college a couple summers ago, and
Sweet.
we built like little robots that did stuff, or like a potato clock. That was cool.
And do you have like
Oh,
do you have like rosin core solder?
I have no clue. I'm not home, so I don't have all my equipment.
So, like-
I couldn't even think of it off the top of my
There's different
head.
types of solder, and like rosin core basically has tree sap inside of it,
Uh,
and it's called
Wow, really?
it's flux. Yeah, flux is tree sap. So it's the whatever the solder material, the metal, and then tree sap inside of it, and the tree sap eliminates like the oxidation from whatever you're soldering, so it makes it shiny and makes it adhere the best.
Dang, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. But you don't want to breathe the fumes, because I guess tree sap fumes are like bad for you.
Starts
I-
tasting like maple syrup.
I guess gives you maple syrup lung.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You die, and then they open you up. They're like, "Why is his lungs full of maple syrup?"
Hey, what the fuck?
It's like, it's how when a Canadian dies, that's what their lungs look like, just full of maple syrup.
That's so fucking bad. Anyway, wait, so you actually want to build pedals? Are you interested in that?
I'm so interested in it. I've always kind of wanted to do it because I've always been obsessed with tone and just obtaining different tones and how people get tones, like, and just seeing other people do it, like you guys and JHS and a bunch of people just doing it their way, and just making their own niche of like how they do things.
Dude,
I've always
like-
just been interested in it.
It'd be not like, could I like teach you? Like, you took an electronics class, you know some of it, right?
Yeah, I know. Like for soldering, like you basically, it's like, my professor taught me, it was like heat the tip of like heat whatever you're gonna solder, then put the thing down on it, and then heat the thing again, and like that's how it gets stuff to stick. I mean, I have a notebook on it all back home, but I mean, if I got refreshed on it, I would probably know what I was doing. But I mean, it was really basic, like. This is a motherboard, or like this is a wire. This is how you wire two wires together, kind of thing.
I'm just like, I'm insane. Like when I like want to learn about something, I just have to like completely obsess myself with it. It's kind of a curse.
I feel it. That's like with like music. Like I'll hear a band, and then like I'll get so obsessed with this band, it'll just like repeat, and I'll just get so into them.
It's like oh, guitar pedals. Like I learned how to do it, and it's like I had to just learn everything about it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Or like programming. I like programming too. Like I programmed like a video game when I was like 12.
Oh, no way.
and, and then I got super obsessed with it, and now I'm like super good at programming because I just
Like
Can't stop.
coding like ones and zeros, or like you use like a text coder thing.
well both.
Dang.
Right now I'm like writing my own operating system just for fun.
Just writing my own operating
It's
system.
so fucking time consuming. It's like because you have to give like you have to do like individual instructions for the processor, so it's like
Yeah.
move this byte over here and move this byte over here, and it's like it takes like fucking so long. I don't know.
It's just like it mind boggles me of how people do that. Just like, I made this video game. I'm just like, how?
What makes it fun is that it's literally a logic puzzle that you have to figure out. Like you have your goal, what you want to do, and you have to figure out what steps you need to take to get there. It's just figuring out a puzzle.
Yeah.
And all a computer knows how to do is just basic math problems. That's all it's doing. And you have to just figure out how that translates into what you want.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing with all technology, and just think like 20 years ago technology, and then like just crazy.
So do you think that integrated circuits were brought to us by aliens? That's an alien technology? Because all of a sudden, like I've heard, this is a conspiracy theory I've heard, but like all of a sudden we just had those things. We just had like microchips. Like this one guy was like, "Hey, I invented a microchip." Like no one even heard of him before. He's just like, "Here you go." And it just
I have no
completely
idea.
revolutionized and like changed technology as we know it when it came out.
That just seems too like, I don't know, just not possible. I mean, we were talking about in my electronic music class the other day about like the first ever polyphonic synthesizer. And when you think that we can invent a synthesizer, I think we can do like a microchip.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's just time. But I mean, it's kind of an interesting idea to think about that. I mean,
But, like,
hey,
conspiracy theories are funny sometimes. It's like, well, I don't know, so let's just make something up that sounds outrageous.
yeah, aliens came and gave us MacBooks, and Steve Jobs lied and all that. Steve Jobs didn't invent the iPhone. The aliens did.
Well, I don't know. Do you mind if we wrap things up?
Yeah, we can wrap things up.
It was a lovely conversation we've had, yet again. Hopefully, I'm hoping we can do a real podcast next time. Wednesday.
Yeah.
We do Wednesdays and Saturdays usually, like 5 o'clock ish.
Wednesdays. I got class on Wednesdays 4 to 5:50 on Wednesdays, but Saturdays I'm free.
We can do Wednesday, like later on Wednesday.
Yeah, that works. I'm down for later.
So let's do Saturdays 5 and then Wednesdays like 7 or 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta figure this out.
Yeah, it works for me.
Well,
I mean,
I guess if we want people to watch this, we had to like figure out the times, you know.
yeah, I mean, just figure out, when people are doing it. I mean, it'd even be cool to like do some sort of like, I don't know, get more people from like Instagram or something to watch it. I have
Hell yeah.
no clue to like how to like live stream stuff. I normally just post stuff, and that's how I get people to like notice my stuff. I've never tried to like live stream. Is the podcast on like Apple Podcasts?
It's on every podcast platform. I had this.
Oh,
There's a
dang.
service I found called Anchor, and it basically you upload it and it just distributes it to everything like automatically. So it's on
Dang.
it's on like Google Podcasts. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's like everything.
We're famous, folks. Look at us.
Oh boy.
Moving on up in the world here.
So we have a YouTube channel for Eagle Electronics for the pedal demos, but we're opening a YouTube channel for the podcast too. So I'm gonna have the videos on Facebook and also podcast, I'm gonna have the videos on Facebook and also YouTube, and then all the audio files are gonna be on every fucking audio platform.
What'd be really cool is if you could do like the Google chat room thing.
Or like what's it called? I forgot what it's called.
I don't remember either, but it's like where people talk to each other, like video, and like when you're talking, the screen will automatically flip to you when you're talking, or if two people are talking at once, it'll combine them, kind of thing. It's kind of cool.
Should we do that instead of Discord?
I mean, we could try it. I don't know how the audio is.
Yeah,
I
okay.
want-
Maybe we can give it a shot. Maybe we can give it a shot. It's all a learning process here.
Exactly. We're a learning process here on the Eager Electronics podcast.
We could get webcams.
Oh yeah,
I have a webcam.
I have one on my MacBook.
So that we can see our ugly faces also while we're talking.
Yeah, you can. Dang it! Now I can't be in my underwear when we do the podcast.
Oh, jeez.
Damn it!
All right. Well.
All right. Well, to leave off on that note.
Anyway, thanks for listening. If you're listening, see you next time.
Have a good one, folks.
Oh, bye.